Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to our regular meeting. Today is a special day. Today we celebrate a birthday of one of our spirit protector spirit called Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. He's the doctor that lived in 19th century, and he was considered the, the doctor of the poor people. So he been helping people around the world through his life, and after as a spirit protector spirit working with many different mediums. So I'm gonna sing a song called Good Old Man. It's about him. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santas look alike. Shine on your brothers on their suffering, living joy, or in pain. Crystal eyes, colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santas look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our meeting. I'm going to sing another song called Love in Action. So what it means, love in action? Just to remind you, in the Gospel according to Spiritism, there's a chapter called Without Charity, There is No Salvation. And there's very, very linked with the talk tonight. Oh, Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using this change wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now understand. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, you just have to put love in action. Now I understand. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, you just have to put love in action. See you soon.
blood, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my destiny will be healed by your love. Disseminate wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. As our Master Jesus taught.
Another day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start, when the sun turns off the moonlight. We get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise, and on the other side of the mountain there's always a whole new road, a new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain there's always a whole new road, and a new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. And before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30-minute presentation followed by a Q&A. After the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. We would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Concafras Americas through their Facebook, and will also be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. East by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. And now we have a special invitation for those who want to learn more about Spiritism. Get to Know Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East, and a new class is beginning on September 9th. And the registration will be released in the chat. So if you want to learn more, join us in this study group. To learn about different topics, reincarnation, life after death, and much more. So the registration link will be in the chat. We offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the Gospel at Home study meetings. By posting in the chat, you can request it, so please let us know if you are interested. You are also welcome to include your or someone else's names on the list for positive vibrations, incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. Please find the link in the chat for our prayer book. And the topic of today's meeting will be the parable of the withered fig tree, items 8 to 10 from chapter 19, Faith Moves Mountain, which will be facilitated by our brother Publio from Toronto. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will be addressing those questions at the end of the talk. And now we would like to invite tonight's speaker that will also be doing our initial prayer. Welcome, Publio.
Hello, Larissa. Good evening. I'm back.
Good
I was
evening,
in.
Publio. That's awesome. We are glad to have you here. And I'm really looking forward to your talk today to learn about this parable.
Thank you.
See you in the end, okay?
Okay, see you. Thank you. So for the prayer, I'd like to invite everybody, if it's possible, close your eyes to facilitate to think about Jesus Christ, our Master, our brother. And in this moment, say thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to be here together tonight, learning about your gospel, learning about your teachings. Allow the good spirits to be with us, and also all the spirits that stay with us during the week, waiting for this opportunity to be here. Allow, Master, the good spirit to visit all the people that are watching us tonight. Be with us today and forever. So be it. Hello, my friends. So tonight, I'm gonna be the person that's gonna talk to you about the gospel according to Spiritism. And like Larissa said, it's the chapter 19, Faith Transport Mountain, the parable of the withered fig tree. Is based on Mark chapter 11, 12 to 14, 20 to 23. So for this chapter, this passage was very, very hard because it's a small piece in the gospel according to the Spiritism, and there's many different meanings. So this gave me a chance to study a little bit, to go after, to find out what it means. Because when we think about Jesus Christ, it's so hard to see him like condemning something, especially a fig tree. So tonight we're gonna see what it means. So to begin with, we're gonna go through the message from Mark. So before we start, so Jesus Christ, this happened in that area. So he was in Jerusalem in that time, and he went at during the day after the temple, he went to Bethany. Probably he went to visit their friends there. As you remember, he has Jairo and two sisters that was very close to his heart. And this passage happened when he was walking through a fig, let's say a fig field, and he saw something. So let's see the detail. And on the morrow, when they were come from Bethany, he was hungry, and seeing a fig tree afar off having leaves, he came, if he haply he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of the fig was not yet. And Jesus answered and said unto it, No man eat fruit of tree hereafter forever. And his disciples heard it, and in the morning, as they passed by again, they saw the fig tree dried up from the root. And Peter, calling to remembrance, says unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursed is withered away. And Jesus answering, say unto them, Have faith in God. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt on his heart, but shall believe that those things which he says shall come to pass. So this is Mark chapter 11, items 12, 14, 20 to 23. So that what happened? Jesus Christ, if we think about Jesus Christ with all his love, all his care about everything in his mission, he's cursing a fig tree. So first of all, we have to understand, like he said here in the passage, the fig tree was full of leaves, but there was no fig. As we understand, in that time is around April, because he was coming from another passage. So the fig tree doesn't come in April. But there's some of them that sometimes that we see some fruits come before the time. But what happened is the leaves come first, and after come the fruit. Here in the springtime in Canada, for instance, the flowers come first. So after the flowers start being the fruits, come the leaves. So there was exactly the old way around. The leaves, the fig tree was full of leaves, but there's no figs. So what it means in the history, what the fig tree means in that time. As we know, Jesus Christ used all the opportunities to teach us something. And sometimes we think, but he was talking for those people in that time, 2,000 years ago, or he was leaving a message for the future generations. That's what we start. So I found in the internet a very interesting person, like a pastor, talking about this passage. And he said, Jesus entered Jerusalem amid exultation from the masses gathered for Passover. In the morning, as he travels from Bethany, he spots a fig tree in leaf. At this point in late spring, most fig trees haven't developed a mature fruit. This is in Mark 11. But this particular tree draws Jesus' attention because it already has a full covering of leaves. It's an early bloomer. Its foliage signals that it should have early figs. So this is the explanation. Let's continue. The fruitless fig tree draws us back to prior points in Jesus' ministry, when God's people were called to produce spiritual fruit. Oh, so now we start seeing a different perspective of Jesus Christ. So God's people were called to produce spiritual fruit. Who was calling? Who was considered the God's people in that time? As we know, the Jews was considered the God's people because was the first people to have the only one God. So they were considered the God's people. And they were supposed to produce spiritual fruit. So when we think about spiritual fruit, it's not a fig tree. Spiritual fruit is something different. Like what can I produce spiritually? I can produce good things for other people. In the other words, charity. So Luke also talking about this. Jesus has pursued the children of God with compassionate seriousness. And the Jewish crowds gathering to celebrate God's past act for redemption, Passover, Exodus, have just hailed Jesus as king while he leads a new Exodus on the meaning-laden donkey. So Jesus was coming from one celebration, and he was entering Jerusalem in that period because it was almost the end of his mission, like when he got in prison and tortured and crucified and all this that we know. So he already know the people that he came to teach didn't listen, didn't learn the lesson of love. So let's continue. So Kardec comes and starts showing us the perspective, the point of view, Spiritism point of view. So as you know, Kardec was the codificator of the Spiritism. He put in words, he organized all the passages and gave us instruction how to understand those passages. So let's see what Kardec says to us. The dried fig tree is a symbol of those people appearing to have a tendency toward goodness, but who in reality produce nothing worthwhile. They are like the preachers who show more brilliance than substance. Those words have a superficial varnish to them in order to please the ear, but which on close examination reveal nothing substantial for the heart. And after having listened to them, we ask ourselves of what benefit they have been. So now Kardec bring all the teaching for 2,000 years ago. Not now are not talking about the Jewish people. He's talking about ourselves. He's talking about everybody. because everybody can have a sweet talk, but not everybody can do a good things. Sweet talk is when we talk just for I talk what you want to hear. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we don't like very much the truth because it's sometimes it's hard to face it. So we prefer sweet words that calm down our ego. So Kardec came and see, look, those words is not for the old times, but it's for our time. It's for us, like appearing to have a tendency toward goodness. So those teaching is for everybody that wants to teach something good, but in fact they by just talking about, they don't do it. So now we're gonna see a difference between the person that just talking about good things and the person that really do the good things. But Kardec continues. It also symbolizes all those who can be useful but are not, of all utopias, empty orders, and doctrines without solid basis. We've been seeing a lot of philosophers, a lot of doctrines with no solid base, because it's like they are not useful for the humankind. They just pretend to be helpful, they pretend to be good, but they are not. To this, this is why Jesus condemned them to sterilize. For the day will come when they will find themselves dry, even to the roots. So we've seen a different, let's say, different roots, different uh, associations that pretend to be good for humanity, pretend sometimes guide humanity, and in the end, they're gonna be dry, even the roots, like they will disappear. We're talking about many different groups that pretend to be good for people, pretend to help people, and in the end, they're helping just themselves. So let's continue. Kardec is very incisive on those points, and it's very important to us to understand. And after, I'm going to give you some examples of people who are the people that really do a lot of things. So let's continue. This is to say that all orders and doctrines which have produced no good for humanity will be reduced to nothing. That all persons who are deliberately purposeless or idle, because they have no put into action the resorts they have brought with them, will be treated as a fig tree which dried up. So now Kardec starts showing a different perspective. He starts showing about the mediumship. As everybody knows, mediumship is when a medium, he is supplied as an organ, as a body for the spirits to bring teachings, to bring relief for the pain, to bring consideration. So Kardec started talking about the mediums. And we've been seeing many different mediums in many different countries and different religions too. Kardec. Mediums are the interpreters of the spirits. In these present days of social renewal, they have a very special incumbency. They are like trees who are destined to supply spiritual sustenance to their brothers and sisters. And I put here a picture of a good, very good medium called Chico Xavier. As you know, he produced more than 450 books, his psychograph books from the spirits, many different ones. And he never took a penny for all the books he produced. He gave the all the rights that he has, he gave to many different institutions to publish the books, to have money to maintain the charity, maintain the, like we have Chico Xavier, he have many different fronts of job, everything linked in hospital, uh, uh, old folk homes, children's, everything. He helped these people. And he had a very handful years of dedication, love to humankind. So now we starting understanding when Jesus Christ said that he's gonna take it out everything from those groups, those mediums that doesn't produce good things. Let's continue. About mediums still, they are everywhere, in all countries, in all social classes, amongst rich and poor, great and small, so that no place may be without them to demonstrate to mankind that all are called. So this all, it's us. All of us are called to work. All of us are called to do a charity. However, if they turn away from the providential objective for which this precious faculty was conceived, if they employ it for futile or prejudicial things, then they are like the sterile fig tree. God will take away the gift that has become useless in their hands, that seed from which they did not know how to bring forth fruit, and will allow them to fall in the hands of evil spirits. As you know, the obsession, the medium's obsession is very, very noticeable. We've been seeing many different aggregation, many different mediums that fall in many different places, areas in the mankind. So just to remember, Chico Xavier, he works more than 90 years producing, the helping people, helping all kind of people, giving lenity, giving words to comfort the heart, mothers that lost parents, lost kids. He was there helping all of them. So he has a very large file of helping people. But we can see this in many different places in the world. Even though we sometimes we don't think, oh, he's a medium. What is a medium? Is the person incarnated that he's between the spiritual plan and the material plan. So he get the inspirations like a book, like a song that make you think, make you get better. So that's the reason Kardec said that all of us are called to work as a medium. Sometimes we're not going to be expressive medium, but we are medium that console people, that we are a medium that give a plate of food. We are a medium when we give our shoulder for someone to cry. We are medium when we pay attention, we stop and pay attention when someone really needs to talk. So we are mediums. So let's continue the conversation. So now I'm going to give you 3 examples of mediums very known for us, especially in the Spiritism, are very, very known by the name. The first one was Chico Xavier, and this one is Divaldo Pereira Franco. He's a Brazilian. He's almost 90 something years old. He started working in 1930s, very young man. He has a place, a village called Mansion of the Way. So there, he already registered as a sons and daughters more than 600 children. He takes care, he creates a village. Nowadays, a lot of them already got family, help him, and he's a medium too. He psychograph books, and all the money that he makes from the book is to maintain those that village. It's a school, a doctor, dentist, all kind of support for those poor families in Brazil, in Bahia, Salvador. So this is a very good example too, if the good medium is a mediumship. Now I'm going to show someone very known for everybody. Let me see. So this is Mahatma Gandhi. So he is in the history very, very known person that he tried to, he worked for let's say, not being a slave anymore in India from Britain people. But he said, well, we're going to do a revolution, but a revolution without war. We're going to do a revolution with love. So this man has a full hands of good things too. We can show him many different names. But this man, like, just for us to understand how good was his heart. So certain time, like poor area, people went to him to talk, to have some advice about things. And one of those days, there was a big line. Everybody wants to talk to him, ask him, oh, can you help me this? Can you help me that? So there was a poor mom there, and she had a kid with her. And she took like mostly 3 hours in the line wait for her time. When she got close to him, she said, please, Gandhi, help me. I know if you talk to my son, ask him not to eat sugar because he's diabetic. And if you tell him, he's going to stop, because I tell he doesn't listen to me. But I am 100% sure that if you talk to him, he's going to stop eating sugar. Gandhi looked at that woman, looked at that kid, and said, okay, come back next week. The poor mom said, next week? I wait more than almost 3-4 hours here in the line to talk to you. And you ask me to come back next week? Yes, come back next week. She was kind of like not very happy. Like, oh my God, wait all this time to see him talk to my kid, and now he asked me to come back next week. What can I do? Next week, she came back and said, okay, again, last week I came here. She went to again the big line, almost 3 hours waiting there. So when she came her time, she said, oh, I'm here because last week you asked me to come back. So my son is a diabetic, but I keep on asking him stop eating sugar, and he doesn't. So you asked me to come back today. Please tell him to stop eating sugar. I said, okay. He looked at the kid and said, look, you have to stop eating sugar. And the kid's just staring at him like he got the message, but couldn't understand how strong was that message. And the mom looked at him and said, but what you did? You just said to stop. Why you asked me last week to come back to this week? He said, well, last week I used to eat sugar too. So I had to stop myself to have a power, a magnetic power, to tell to your kids not to eat sugar. So just for us to understand how powerful is the word, like if you want to help someone, you have to do sometimes sacrifice. You sacrifice your time, you sacrifice your family to do something for the humankind. That's what he did. So this is a very good example for all of us. What we are doing with all the technology that we have, all the teachings that Jesus Christ gave to us almost 2,000 years ago, all the teaching that the spirits came in 1857 with the Spiritist book. What we are doing with all this information? Are we trying to get better day by day? That's what we need to do. Like, it's not gonna ask for the other people, what are you doing? But we have to ask ourselves. So in the end, we're not gonna be dry, because when we start doing good things, they used to say we melt our heart. So make easier for the good spirits to come and give you an intuition to do this or do that. But remember, all those things that we do is for the people, for the people get better day by day. I'm almost finishing. I just brought one passage here, very interesting. It's in the book Religions of the Spirits from Emmanuel, psychographed by Chico Xavier. They see the poem, the lesson, called For the Fruits. By the fruits you will recognize them. Are branches of grapes gathered from thorns, or figs from thistles? Not by size, not even by configuration, not even for the branch, not even for the greater of the cup, nor for the green shoots, nor even for the dry ends, nor even the shining look, nor for their unpleasant presentation, nor because of ancientness of the trunk, not even because of the fragility of the leaves, not for the rustic or delicate bark, not for the fragrance of odorous flowers, not even because of the fragility of the leaves. Oh, sorry. Not even for the enticing aroma, nor by the repulsive fumes. No tree will be known of loved by outward appearances, but for the fruits, for the usefulness, for the production, so also our spirits in full journey. No one who is really consecrated to the truth will bear witness for us for what we see, by the superficiality of our life, by epidermis of our attitudes or individual expressions, perceived or appreciated in passing, but by substances of our collaboration in common progress, by the importance of our collaboration in the general good. We're going to know the fruits by all this. By the fruits we shall know them, said the Master. By the action we shall be known. We will repeat. Living Source, chapter 7. So how are we going to recognize the good mediums? How are we going to recognize the good people? By the fruits that they produce. Not by the leaves, not by the bark, not by the appearance, the roots, but the fruits we recognize by what we do. What we do is our fruits, what we produce from ourselves. So I hope you can enjoy this time. I understand there's a lot of information, but everybody is welcome to check the internet. You can check the Gospel according to Spiritism. It's for free. You can see in the internet. It's very important. Chapter 19, items 8 to 10. So, Larissa, come back, and if you have any question, let's talk.
Hi, Publio. Thank you for your presentation and your reflections on this topic. It's definitely a little bit complex, right?
Yeah, like
it's not a light topic. It's very, like you feel the responsibility of that, right?
Exactly. Like it's not what I used to say is you have to start thinking what the message behind of that passage, what Jesus Christ wants to show us. Maybe he wants to show in that time, but for sure he has another intention in the future. How you recognize the good spirits, how you recognize the good mediums by the fruit, right? So
and it's shocking, that passage of the gospel, right? Like you begin saying, Jesus cursing and then the fig tree just dry, right? So it is shocking. And I feel that this example, after you explained to us and kind of like helped us to reflect on that, made us understand why Jesus chose that specific tree to show that, right? Because it was something really common in the area that they were, but also because, like you showed in the explanation, it was an early bloom, right? So when Jesus saw a lot of leaves, it should mean that there were fruits, but in the end, there wasn't. And that example that you gave about Gandhi, like it's very emblematic too, right? So it's really, and especially nowadays, that I feel like most people are just appearing, right? So
it's very interesting, right? Because when we think the message was given 2,000 years ago, but look like I see a comment here. Look like they wrote this for our days, like the social media nowadays. A lot of people is a good preacher. A lot of people is a very good talk. But in the end, they just talk. They don't do it. Oh, see, she put something.
So Yari commented here when you were talking. So she said, this is interesting because social media has opened the door for many, many well-versed preachers who seem to be similar to these dried up fig trees.
Exactly. We've been seeing not only the priests, but in all kind of aspects, all kind of religions, right? And the science too. Like we see, like I'm not condemning anybody, but we see YouTubers that have millions of people, and they don't guide them in the good way. You know what I mean? Like you could be a very good example, helping people to get better day by day, but you don't use this, your influence, to make people better, to make people happier. You know what I mean? So that's what it's important in this message, because this fame is gonna like for a couple of years, maybe some time, but soon it's gonna be another one, and another one, and another one. So it's very, very good comment, Yari Zoe. It's for our days. Like you're gonna think now, while probably you're talking very well, what do you do? Aha, now it's the point. Remember when the beginning I talk about that song in the Gospel according to Spiritism? There's a chapter beautiful. There's a chapter very beautiful that say, without charity, there is no salvation. So we use this in our religion. So we have many different fronts of charity in many different places. We have a group, for instance, I'm not going to mention the name, but we have a group that goes to the street and give bottle of water. They are trying to do something, right?
Yeah.
There's a group that makes sandwiches for the people that need it,
Yeah.
right? People that make they use those how do you say that the with
Scarves.
the scarves, and not only give scarves, they make like blankets with scarf to give people when they are on a cold time. So
Mhm.
what we do, and this is happen in many different ways here in Canada, United States, in Brazil, many different, like they make soup, they make food,
Mhm.
all kind of people doing many different charities.
To
And
help.
again, this is not linked a religion. This
Mhm.
linked by ourselves, what I'm doing with all the things that I know about Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because the message is the same for uh, all the
Yes. And it reminds me of like a quote that we have in Portuguese. I will try to translate, but it's something like the word instruct, but the example really convince, right? So you can say whatever you want, and it maybe it's true, maybe it's like full of true, but when you actually do it and show by your actions, that's the way better example, right? And
yeah,
it's kind of like linked to that story about Gandhi, right?
exactly. That's the reason I brought that lesson, because
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy to say, hey, okay, Larissa, stop eating sugar,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't do it. I
Yeah.
continue eat sugar. So that's the power of the word. Like I'm saying something to you. There I was. There I'm already passed by. I
Yes.
went through, and now
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing. So
Yeah.
there's a different way. Like you said, that the word has a power, but
Mm-hmm.
the example, that's what happened. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ not even talk, no, not only talk about the love, he practiced the love all the time when he was
Yes.
here. So
Yes.
that's the great lessons. And the
Mm-hmm.
Spiritism came to, let's say, revive all those teachings that showing that we have to do something. That's
Yes.
the reason. Without
Mm-hmm.
charity, there is no salvation. So
That's awesome.
if you want to learn more, Larissa, like you said in the beginning, we're gonna start soon in September. The
9th. Yeah.
get to know Spiritism.
Mm-hmm.
Every Saturday is 14 classes that we're gonna
Yes.
learn about the charity. We're gonna learn about Jesus Christ. We're gonna learn about yeah,
Reincarnation, the
many different
spiritual
topics.
life.
Exactly. And it's very important to study, not only read, but study those passages so we
Mhm.
can fix more and get more like understandable.
Yes, that's for sure. Even I'm always learning. Even like we may read a lot of times the same passage, but every time feels like it's a different one. Feels like we
Exactly.
are learning a little bit more, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So thank you so much, Publi, once again for your time and reflections on today's topic.
Thank you, Larissa. Thank you, all of you that make me study a little bit to understand a little bit more too. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.
You as well.
Thank you.
And thank you all for your participation in the chat. Now we will move on to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. So, what is the spiritual treatment? PASS is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PASSes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. And during the pass, the water that you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. We will now make a prayer in preparation for the pass, which will also be our closing prayer as well. So I invite you all to join me in this prayer, and let's close our eyes, calm our hearts, and mentalize our Master Jesus and the friendly spirits that are here with us tonight. Master Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity that we could learn a little bit more about Spiritism and your teachings. We ask that you help us in our spiritual journey and that we may able to apply in our daily lives your teachings of love and charity in all areas of our lives. May we be able to not only study more, but also put into practice in order to bear fruits and be a fig tree that will bear fruits. We also would like to put into your hands all the people that are currently in our prayer book, incarnate or discarnate. May each one of them receive your love and peace vibrations in their heart, assisting them in whatever they are in need right now. May we be able to receive all the benefits from the spiritual treatment that will start soon. And we ask our protection for the week that we still have ahead, trusting that you will stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The path begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the pass. Thank you, God.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concafres Americas at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from the Spiritism Canada and Spiritist group Paths of Light. Have a good night.
Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, mate, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark home place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fry. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling in the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark cold place, no more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling in the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark cold place, no more fear, no more fight. Let the sun all gone away shine, shine. Let the sun all gone away shine, shine, shine.